Hi, good morning, everyone. So as usual, today is Friday, our product session today. So today going to be a little different. We're going to talk about listen from the members, on the experience of using the products, and also questions on any pertaining to your doubts. You need more clarities on any of these issues. Please raise your questions. Okay, you can use the chat bot, or also you can put up your hand. We prefer you to use the chatbot. That will be much easier and more faster for us to efficiently effectively use the time. Okay, so the general info that I'm going to give you all today is how easy is it to be healthy. Okay, and nowadays we see that people are getting extremely sick, and more sick people in the society, and obesity is another area that is been overwhelming or coming everywhere in every country. Diabetes is being going to be diabetes is a pandemic now. Okay, and a lot of people are lacking information, don't know what is the right way to solve all these problems. Okay, so here we have DXN as our pillar, because DXN is a food-based company. Okay, it's a multi product, and been 30 years old, and the quality control is very high, and a very simplified form of food which can really give us a great leverage on health. Okay, this is not vitamin, this is not food supplement, this is a food-based company. Okay, whereby, like coffee, do you call coffee as a vitamin, or do you call coffee as a supplement? No, this coffee is a pure coffee and therapeutical coffee. We have more than almost about 30 over coffees in Malaysia, and the other countries about 5 to 10, depends on their country availabilities. And also same goes to the tea and so many other products. This is a food-based products. Okay, how can you enhance this food, and how can you obtain a good health? Okay, that is what always we've been educating people, and also teaching. Okay, how to where you don't get lost. Okay, in this information on the food and all. Okay, so based on this, if you all have any questions, please raise it. You can always ask. All right, now there is two major reasons why people get disease. Okay, one main reason is toxin. Okay, because nowadays we have a lot of products, fast food and processed food and so on. This has been added with a lot of toxins. This is one major issue, that the toxins come from the food. And how about toxins come from the air, from the pollution, and all the cosmetics and other things, beverages that we use. Even now, the mobile phone is a toxin. But I don't think that we can live without a mobile phone, because the need is really very high and very demand. And the connectivity of using, okay, the need to use the phone is very high. And then goes to all the electrical appliance and so many other communication devices, or either medical devices in our car and everywhere. All these also contribute a lot of toxins to us. And then the food, the processed food. People are unaware about the processed food content and very high amount of toxins that we are consuming, especially the younger generations, and they practically live with very high processed food consumptions. Okay, and also parents are not aware about this. In a very easy way, they've been like eating all these carbonated drinks, instant noodles, and so many things which are outside there, which is extremely dangerous for the kids now. Okay, this is why nowadays we see fertility also is another very big issue. Obesity is another big issue. Even juvenile diabetes is also becoming a huge problem. And medically, even the doctors are finding solutions here and there, but the root cause here is food and lifestyle. It's nothing to do with hereditary. We don't talk about mother has this, father has this, so you must have this, and so on. Okay. So here we have to go and, preach on health and get people to aware what is good and what is not good. Okay. So this is what, if there is any questions, please, the co-host, you can just let me know.
Morning, doctor.
Yes. Any questions?
So far, one doctor, Madam Puspa asked about Parkinson issue. How to help with the DXN food for 70 years old man, doctor. He has a Parkinson. His age is 70. What kind of DXN food we may consume, doctor?
Okay, the question is, for 70 years old, has Parkinson, how can we help this person? Okay, that's the question. So generally, any disease which comes, it's a brain disorder disease. It can be a memory issue. It can be a malfunction of brain and so on. So one of the main reason now we have this is it's been like speeding up. Okay, even in 50s they have a problem, 60s they having, and 70s a huge number of people are having this brain disorder issues. Okay, so this kind of problem comes because of a large amount of consumption of sugar. Sugar is not even our dietary item. It is a flavoring. It is a flavoring substance. The body actually are handling way too much of sugar now in the system. Like if you talk about like 50 years back, 100 years back, where you're using a very small quantity of sugar. But now we have various different types of sugar. They have white sugar, natural, non-natural, food graded, chemical based, sulfur, this and that. So people just take all kind of sugar. Okay. But every sugar, it is equally bad to the system. So sugar is one of the main problem. So whenever any elderly people you see the consumptions of sugars is very high, you always have to advise them. Okay, even a little bit of sugar can cause problems. So how can you help these people? Okay, what I will suggest is you can recommend them. We have a product which can be called as brain tonic. Okay, so the brain tonic product is GL. GL is very powerful for the brain. And second goes to Lion's Mane. These two products works, hand to hand by reactivating back all the damages, okay, in the neurons, nerves, and so many other things in our body. Okay. So, but before you doing all this, it's advisable to correct the lifestyle first. That is very important. Okay, on the sugar, on the inflammatory food. Even when you talk about sugar, also fruits comes into the picture. But now, at this point of time, in this current time, 2023, okay, in this era, people are eating way too much of fruits. And also, they have a lot of arguments when we tell them, and especially when I tell them fruit is not good. Okay, they compare the fruits with the other country. Okay, even like today, I had one questions. This couple went to India. They have been visiting a lot of other Ayurvedic treatment centers, but they never given this restriction on fruit. Okay, and why fruit can't be consumed? You see, the fruit in the city and the fruit back in your village is totally different. The more remote you go, the fruits can be good, which is still natural. But still doesn't mean that you can eat like how you eat here. Okay. So fruit is something that you take in a very minimal amount. But now the affordability is still there. You have the money and you can buy these fruits anytime, anywhere. And there is no season. Those days, all the fruits has season. Okay. There is no one fruit that, grows to 365 days. No. But genetically they modified, they made the fruits to grow 365 days. Or either they have frequent seasoning, like 2 months once, 2 months once, 2 months once. Why? They need business. the fruit vendor, the agriculture, they need business. So that's why all this has been modified. And they also made these fruits to become seedless. And also they have made this to become more sweeter. So that anything sweet that people will like. That's all. Okay. So the quality of fruits, what the current moment that you have, it is not the same fruit that you had like 50, 60 years back. So this fruit is causing a lot of insulin secretion in the body, which you are not supposed to be. So okay, that's all about fruits. Okay. So even this can cause brain damage to the system. Okay. And then when do people like to eat fruit? They always like to eat fruit in a very relaxed moment, especially at night before going to bed. And that is a killer. That is a big killer. Okay, eating and sleeping. And how much do they eat? They eat quite a lot. Because it is nice, it's so sweet, it is cold, it's added with some, even some people had honey into their fruits. They had some kind of, assam, all the sugar kind of stuff, sweet and sour a bit. And then they even add yogurt, flavored yogurt and all. So that sugar from the fruit itself is dangerous, but they add more, okay, sweet and sour to it to make it more tastier. So taste is the biggest priority now. So all this is not good for the body. Okay, so lion's mane is good. Coffee is very good for Alzheimer or Parkinson, and lion's mane GL, Ganoderma, the mycelium is also good, and never forget about the spirulina. Okay, so all these we are replacing the food that they needed to nourish the body. Okay, remember one thing. Why do we need to eat? Okay, some people eat for two reasons. One is just to fill up. Once you're hungry, they just need to fill up something that is nice and tasty. But there's some groups of people, they want to nourish their body. They go and eat the quality, the real nutritional based food. Okay. But at this point of time, it's so hard to find the nutritional based food. That is why we need to support the food intake, the chain line of the nutrition through DXN. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, but we need also a certain period of time to see good results from the Parkinson patient. And also you need to integrate walking, this kind of, pressure, exercise and all these things, okay, which walking can do, like power yoga, sitting, squatting down and getting up, squat and getting up. So, all this is very, very helpful to improve the circulation, the brain circulation. Okay. At the end of the day, circulation determines everything. Okay. Your age depends on the blood flow, the health of your arteries. If your arteries are getting very old, no doubt you are young, the time will end soon. If the blood flow stops, everything stops. Remember that. So even you are old, you have a very good blood flow, your arteries are very young, that shows that you are also very young. Your mileage will be even very longer. Okay, so that is for Parkinson.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, there's one more question.
Yes, Doctor. May I interrupt?
Okay, Ken, go ahead.
For hypothyroid, what kind of DXN foods can be taken? Kindly give your suggestion, Doctor. This is asked by Mr. Saravanan.
Okay, for hypothyroid. Okay, rather than, you see, DXN here do not treat any disease. That also you got to understand. DXN here helps to rebuild back the system, rebuild back the damaged system. Due to this thyroid being existed in the system, due to some inflammation caused by the damages of the lifestyle that you have done. So once you correct the lifestyle, your body will need some support to rebuild back or bring back to the condition before thyroid. Okay, so you need something to support. Okay, that is where the DXN's food supports in terms of nutrition. The body is a very intelligent system created by God. We are gifted to have or to own one system like that. It is magnificent system. But now we have ripped the system extensively and it has been deteriorated very badly. Okay, so how are we going to rebuild back the system? Okay, how are we going to rebuild back is by putting in back all the good nutrition. So this is why the spirulina is such a super powerful. It is also known as superfood. You have all the essential nutrition, minerals in there, protein and all. Then the Ganoderma comes in. Okay, Ganoderma, the organic germanium, and many, many more. There are about 400 over types of nutrition, essential nutrition is there. Okay, and then also comes with the coffee and tea and all. What a life without a coffee and tea, right? Everybody drinks coffee and tea. But the thing is, you are drinking a contaminated coffee, which is not even qualified as to become a coffee or even not being called as a coffee. Why? Because the commercial coffee outside there is everything is labeled coffee, but the content inside is not even a real caffeine. It is a synthetic caffeine. And then they use a lot of chicory. Then the coloring, the preservatives, the flavoring, the fragrance, all this has made coffee to become bad. And this is why coffee generally has a very bad name among doctors. Doctors always say coffee causes gastric, coffee causes this, coffee causes that. No, actually, that is people who are not knowing the real benefit of coffee. Okay, coffee does everything good if it is a real pure coffee. Coffee existed for many, many 100 years back. Okay, and this coffee is actually a medicine. It has been herbs, and then it became a beverage. And now it become a super duper beverages. It's been contaminated extensively for flavoring. Okay, so the thing is, in short, you're not getting the real coffee. Whereby in DXN you can get access to real coffee, the pure coffee with the king of herb Ganoderma added into it. That is the plus point here. If this coffee is not good, do you think DXN can penetrate 180 countries globally? And DXN products availability, we have practically lost count. We have lost count. There's more than 220 over countries. The countries even not in the list. We don't even heard about that countries, certain islands, even they have these products. Why? The product, the coffees or any other beverages is so powerful and so good and so pure. Okay, so for this hypothyroid, one of the main reasons for hypothyroid is inflammation and sugar. So once you stop consuming of sugars, the inflammation will start to drop. Then what you can suggest from DXN, obviously Morinzi, then comes to the spirulina, our VCO is so good, and then you need to give them coffee. Okay, coffee does wonders. Okay, or tea, oolong tea. Okay, even this few things is good enough. Then apply walking. Walking is so important. Okay, to reactivate every entire lymphatic system. You need to reactivate. All this is so good, so powerful. Okay, so this is what you need to do. And then also never forget about the sleep. Sleep is so good. And now we are living a life, the society is a sleep deprived society. Everybody is sleeping like 3 to 4 hours. And this is crazy. At one point, the society was sleeping 10 hours. Then gradually became 9, 8, and now it's gone up to 4. Now people are fighting for time now. It's too short. Time fast, very fast. This, that, blah, blah, blah. And where they can touch? Sleep. because 8 hours they are working, plus another 4 hours of OT, this and that, plus another 2 hours of traffic jam. So 8 plus 4, 12 plus another 2 is 14 hours. 14 hours just gone for working. Then you have another balance, okay, 10 hours. And what are you going to do with these 10 hours? That's a big question. And then how many hours are you going to give to the family? Say you give them 4 hours or what? And worse to worse, everything takes away from the sleep. And this is where they cut the sleeping hours to 4. So and then they have chit-chat sessions, they have friends meeting up sessions, they have hiking, this, that, and everything. Then they will cut short the sleeping hours. And but they're not knowing that sleeping, once you touch the sleeping hours, you are digging your own grave. And this even will speed up the thyroid, speed up the heart rate, heart blocks, brain disorders, Parkinson, Alzheimer, PID issues, pelvic inflammatory disease. And many, many things will come. Aging, okay, will be super duper fast. So everything will attack at one go. By the time when you reach about 60, then they will call you a very old 60, and which is very young. Okay, so for thyroid, remember, you can give anything from DXN. The most important things you just shouldn't forget is always the spirulina, the BCO, Morinzi, and then the coffee. The rest you can add anything they want, but this is good enough already, provided lifestyle exchange has been applied and give them the awareness of cultivating a good health. Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
Ma'am, so something in Burmese.
Pretty sick said that she has a deep vein in her tooth. Doctor extracted toothpaste. Okay, I think she's trying to give a testimony here. Okay, I just used a translation. Mhm. Numbness. Okay. Okay, and the thing is, the question is, 2 decade, and then 2 molars has been extracted, and it's still not good. And now they're using DXN products, a little better, but not so good. So what else can be done for this? Okay, that is a question. Okay, what else can she eat or she take? You see, there's another supplements which even not in DXN, that is called time, TIME. It takes more time. Okay. So you see, people as a consumer, they always want immediate effect. They want to get married today, tomorrow they want to have a baby. And they want the baby to be running, and after a week they want the baby to be like jumping, and maybe in a month time go to work, and the second month get married and settle down very fast. Okay, but that will not happen. Okay, you see, for the teeth to come to this extent, is also come to the food again. Okay, you see, nowadays we said the dentists are so busy. Okay, the dentistry statistic is spiking way too crazy. And they have orthodontal, they have cosmetic dental, they have many different cosmetic procedures now. And dental cost is so expensive until companies do not want to bear this. You can get medical facilities, but you may not get dental facilities. Okay. Do you notice this? Why? It is cost too expensive. Why dental? Why everybody is losing their teeth and having decay, this, that, and they have to fill back and then so many problems. Because of the food. When you start to eat sugar and carbohydrates, you're going to lose everything. The sugar will eat you up. Remember that. Those days, we'll never had this problem. People never go to dentists and all. Okay, even until 90 or 100, they will have all their teeth with them. But now, many has implant, many has different kind of things has happened to them. Half of them even roaming around without teeth. This is very normal. Okay, so what you can do in DXN, you're already doing what you're supposed to do. You're taking RG, GL, add a lot of spirulina, the VCO. What you must not do is stop sugar. If you're eating sugar, please stop. Okay, use the black coffee more, a 3-in-1 coffee, keep it low. You can use sugar, not to say you cannot take sugar at all, but as much as you avoid it is better. Once in a while, in occasion, you can have sugar, no harm. Okay, so you're already doing good. Use the toothpaste, use the spirulina, eat spirulina more than 10. Don't eat like 1 or 2. Okay, and then use the entire range of DXN products. Okay, the DXN products. Okay, the best part of the DXN products is it is needed for any infant and until up to the age of any age. Okay, that powerful it is, that much of food is there. Okay, so but many other companies, the vitamins or the things also only for adults, but here it is not like that. Okay, can be given to a little baby which is born a couple of hours. You can give the Ganodermas. They are that safe. Okay, so this is the question for that. Remember, why I'm explaining to you all this is I want you to know the root cause. Okay, the root cause of the issues here. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, one of my diversity member asked one query. May I ask now, Doctor?
Yes, please go ahead.
Doctor, we know fat is good. Whether if you can consume beef fat instead of goat, whether we can consume that is his query, Doctor.
Okay. You see, lately, I've been telling people to, consume fat. Okay. One of the biggest thing that missing in our diet is fat. And today I was talking to one of my friend. All of a sudden, the father died of a heart problem and also had severe diabetic complication. The mother she's still alive, but she's also a chronic diabetic patient. The daughter is equally very obese, big size. And then suddenly when she checked, her sugar was like 70. And then after that, she started to control food. She's doing all kind of magic. And the sugar is 6 point something. Okay, but 6.5 is still high. Okay, but when I checked what she's doing, she's not eating rice, but she's eating bread. The only one thing she's drinking some coffee, which is not sugar, not creamer. and there is no fat intake at all. Okay? So what is going to happen? What is going to happen in the future? Do you think this is a safe form of diet? Definitely no. Okay, so she's taking bread, she's taking some biscuits, and she munch cucumber and some lemon and some tomato and things like that. Okay, fresh, and she avoid eating. Okay, and this is what she do. Do you think this can go long? I'm asked a question: how long can you do? How long? You see, there is no diet exist in this world. There is no such thing as dieting. You are a human, you eat like human. Have you seen any lion dieting? Have you seen any bird dieting or any eagle dieting? Okay. But this crazy world, you've never seen a dog dieting. But you can see dogs on treadmill now. Have you seen dogs on treadmill? Okay, the crazy society is overfeeding the dog and they make their dog run on the treadmill. And that is human. You see, it's so obese cat because they feed the cat too much. And when you see the owner them itself are not healthy, they're also obese. The cat also is obese. If they have a dog, the dog will be obese. If they have a fish, the fish will be obese, and everything is overfed. And the dog will be doing exercise. When they bring these dogs to the vet, and the veterinarians will advise them, you got to bring your dog for some running. You got to bring your dog for a walk. You see? And this is what is happening. The dog equally will have fatty liver, will have kidney failure, have sleep disc, have spine problem, and also can end up with osteoarthritis problems and all. But all these problems we don't have with the wild dogs and wild cats or wild animals. No. The only difference is they don't have a diet. They take what is been created for them. That's how they've been designed. This is how they live. They know exactly. They don't have alarm. They don't have a watch. They don't have a stove. They don't cook, nothing. They have been programmed as such. They go on with the same. But here, modernization, when it comes to domestic dogs and domestic cat, everything has been changed. So that is what is so happening to us. So what we are doing here is we are flooded with a lot of information in the Google. Practically people are drowning in the information. So you're not able to validate or confirm or to see whether this information is right or not right. Only the particular person is in that field may know what you read is right or wrong, on which part is been been conned and which is not. Okay, so we human system should run the system with fat, not glucose. But now everybody thinks the system is run on glucose. If you don't take sugar, you'll get fainted. If you don't get sugar, you can just get giddiness. And all this is junkies terminologies. Junkies, they will say this. Like a smoker, when he needs to think, he needs to smoke. Because the brain doesn't work, the smoke which goes in, it makes him to work. And that sort of effect it gives, habitual. Okay? So remember, fat is the most important part. Those days, like 50, 60 years, 100 years back, we were consuming enough fat in our diet. We had a lot of coconuts. We never used so much of cooking oil, and our carbohydrates was way too low, and sugar was not in our diet. Okay, we don't take unnecessary things such as honey, as jam, and there's no things as Thousand Island, mayonnaise, and all these things was not there. Now everything is sugar-based and way too much of consumptions of all this. And this is Bringing everything is a problem. So remember, fat. So what kind of fat? So you can use coconut-based fat. You can use grated coconut. You can use coconut milk, or any form of coconut. All that is good. You can do. So when it comes to the meat, you can use any meat that you like. But you also must remember, don't eat too much of meat. Very less meat, but we need the fat. That is why those days people make soup in the meat. They put a couple of legs and make a soup, and they drink the soup while eating. Okay? The Indian does that. The Chinese does that. The Malays also was drinking that. To drink more soup. They only eat rice once a day, which is in the afternoon. In the evening, something very light and like this. Gradually, things all changed, and now every day is rice. Every moment is rice. Not rice noodle, not noodle bread, not little bun, and all these things, or pizza, or they call it tokoyaki or yaki or whatever. All funnies, So remember, you can use beef, you can use lamb, you can use goat, you can use pork, whatever to your preference. Remember, meat less, fat more. Make it into soup and drink that, and that will really help you. When we are using lat, people are very healthy. Okay, they take even all the fat and then they melt it and they'll put it in a corner and then use that as an oil. We had very less mortality rate. Heart rate was very low. Okay, now cardiac issues was very low, strokes was very low, and everything. Now we have been improved, we have been modernized, we have technology, we have 360-degree scan, heart scan, this, that. We have the finest catheter in the world, blah, 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 blah. Technology has improved. Why is that? Heart rate is also equally improving. What is what? And do you think we have achieved what we want? No. Why can't we stop or reduce the rate of heart attack? No. Technically, we can say that is also part of the business, but that is a different. But who decides what is going to be on your plate? Not the doctors, not the technology, not the hospital. It's you. So your health is in your hand. Don't blame any other sectors here. Right? So the answer for this question, yes, you may use any fat that you want. All are equally good and safe.
Thank you, doctor. One more in chat box, doctor. Animals oil like that, including fat and skin.
Yes, you may consume all that, no problem. Okay, but as I said, don't eat too much of meat. Just that fat under the skin or inside the skin or whatever skin, it is still all okay. That is so. Even they dissect under the skin cannot, inside the skin can. There's so many segregations has been done here. Okay, so this it is. In short form, always you want to come to an ultimate standard of a good living. The minimum you eat, the better. The maximum you work is the most efficient. Remember, the lesser you eat, the max you work. And that is human system. Okay, now it is way too different. The maximum you eat, the lesser you try not to work. That is where you become a bomb. You may explode in the 70s or 80s and all kind of things will come. You are building everything internally. Okay? Yeah, but we have to improve in terms of technology. We have everything very fast. We have induction stove. We have, everything is modernized. So the accessibility to make food is there. One call, you call the Grab or you call Lala Move or whatever, they can just send the food to you. 24 hours availability, menus, varieties of menu, just money. And that also your people have. And that is why. So you got to hold on, and control a little bit here and there. If you have to bring this discipline a little by little, okay, think of your loved ones, think of your future, and all this may, will able to create. If you all cannot, then, you definitely can. There's nothing that is not possible. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, one Mr. Vagis is raised hand. Maybe unmute, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Vagis, you may unmute and ask your query now.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Sir, எங்க father in lawக்கு வந்து brain strokes வந்திருக்கு.
I will translate English, madam.
Hello.
Ma'am, you can go ahead with your query, ma'am. Again, once more.
ஓகேங்க மேம், எங்க ஃபாதர் இன் லாவுக்கு வந்து இப்போ ஃபோர் இயர்ஸ் முன்னாடி வந்துட்டு பிரெயின் ஸ்ட்ரோக்ஸ் வந்திருக்குங்க சார். ஒன் சைடு, அதாவது ரைட் சைடு ஃபுல்லாவே வந்து அவரு எந்த ஒரு இதுவுமே செய்ய முடியல. இப்ப லெக் மட்டும் ஓரளவுக்கு ஸ்டெப்ஸ் ஏதோ ஒரு 4-5 ஸ்டெப்ஸ் வைக்கிறாரு. ஹேண்ட் வந்து சுத்தமாவே மூவ் ஆகல. நாங்களும் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எவ்வளோ எடுத்து பார்த்தாச்சு, எதுவுமே ஆகலைங்க சார். அதுக்கு வந்து எந்த மாதிரி மெடிசன் சார் எடுத்துக்கலாம்? அவருக்கு வந்து ஏஜ் பாத்தீங்களா இப்ப 67 ஆகுதுங்க சார்.
Okay, madam. Doctor, her father-in-law has around 67 years old. He had a brain stroke about 4 years ago. Now he is unable to walk freely. What the madam asking is what kind of foods he may adopt to recover his disease, doctor.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a brain stroke.
Brain stroke, ma'am. So 4 years ago, he's 67 years old.
Okay, I'll just repeat, summarize the whole thing. Brain stroke, 44 years back, 64 years old. What can be done now? They have tried many remedies, but nothing worked out. Okay, people got to understand what this stroke is all about. Okay, stroke is something like a tsunami. Okay, it comes in, it wipes off everything. So now the recovery is what we are talking in, rebuilding back everything. When the blood flow stops, everything dies. When the blood flow stops, everything dies. Okay, so the lot of cells has been damaged. Okay, so it depends which side of the brain, it is called an infarct. Okay, you see, when there is a lot of blockage will take place. The mic which is not used, please mute. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, you see, the thing is, just a moment, let me get it. Okay, you see, in the body, there is, a lot of arteries and veins, which blood is flowing. So, but when we aged up, this is where I told you earlier, the aging factor depends on how healthy is our artery and the blood flow. And once when people take too much of carbohydrates and very low fat diet, and this will happen very fast, the calcium classification will start to deposit very fast in the arteries, and the arteries will start to narrow down. And if this narrowing down blockage happens in the brain, then it comes brain stroke. If it happens in the heart, it becomes heart attack, or any other part also can. Any other arteries or any body, leg, anywhere can. But this one place, if it hits there and we will die, that is the heart. The heart stops, the whole body stops. In the brain is not like that. It is different. We will not die. We will be malfunction. So the malfunction depends where it hits, which part of the brain, the blood stops and the cells die. To rebuild back, now the question is, if we reactivate back the blood flow, will the cells will be growing back or not in the age of 65? You see? This is very, very difficult part, okay, to refix back. But it can happen, but the depth of the treatment is very, very complicated because it involved belief system, the mind system, the food system, and how much of effort can that sick person do. If it is a young person, we can push him, we can motivate him, we can drive him, okay? But a 64 years old man may not do all this. And he also may not have the courage to do, okay? And 4 years already is too long. The damage could have been permanent already. The body already accept the damages, okay? The body already decided, okay, fine. Damage, we accept this. Let's move another way around. The body has decided that. Okay, this will happen. Okay, so our body is very adaptogen, you know. All right, but what I will advise for this kind of patient is, recovering him will be one area, and sustaining him in a healthy way is a second area that we got to really think about. Okay, so stop feeding him sugar, first rules. Start feeding him fat, second rules. Stop all the inflammatory food that's going into his system, such as milk, sugar, flour-based food, and stop giving him fruits. And also stop all the juicing techniques that you all will be doing for this kind of stroke patients. If it is into this feeding tube, you can still give him fat. Okay, then you have to bring him for some massage therapies. You have to make him walk. If he can just do a little 1-2 steps, let him do the 2 steps per day and give him all this mindset that he must do 3 steps the next day, 3 steps, 3 steps, 3 steps. When 1 steps become 3, then you tell him, wow, so awesome, you did 3 steps. Now you must do 4 steps. So push him step by step, step by step, step by step. That's why to bring out a patient in this condition to a different condition, it involved so many things. Sometimes patients may just ask, what can I give him that he can come good? Wow. Do you think that easy? No, most of the time it doesn't work the way. So there somebody must be very dedicated. The family plays the role. Have to be very patient with him. He said, no, I don't want to do, I just want to be like this and die. Then you have to sit and talk to him and tell him and understand him. Then you said, okay, I will try tomorrow. It will become like that. So that's why sometimes we see a lot of people in the rehab centers, you know. I spend a lot of time with this kind of patient. You know, for me, it's a very big challenge. I would love to do these kind of things. Okay. That's why now I'm doing what I'm doing now is, you know, with passion and love I'm doing. Okay. There are a lot of other doctors who refuse to do what I'm doing because they just like to, you know, cut things short, just go blah like that. Okay. But this is what you got to do. First rule, stop flour, stop sugar, stop the inflammatory food. Then second, you got to one side, you have to start feeding him fat. So what is the fat? You can use vegetables like coconuts. Then you also can use meat and all. So he needs a lot of physiotherapies. Mentally, you got to play with that part. And physically, you got to make him move. If he can't move, you got to make him move by holding him, putting him in on a wheelchair. Now, these kind of things. Okay. All this comes in a bundle. If you find that all this is difficult, still maintain a good, proper diet for him, which is fat and all this inflammation. At least for the future, he will not get worse. Okay? Not get worse. And that's another area that we got to really, really seriously look into a person. A person who gets a first stroke may always very high chance getting a second stroke. And then third stroke, fourth stroke, and can go on like that. And even this kind of patient can even very prone for cardiac arrest, hypertension, diabetes, because they already stopped moving. Okay? This is due to the love, they will be feeding him too much of food. That's another problem. Okay? And what they feed them? Sugar-based food. Every 2 hours, you'll be telling him, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Why? Because you have given him sugar. Sugar makes people hungry. Fat makes them full. So when he screams for food, they'll feed him again, feed him again, feed him again. And this is huge complication. After about 3-4 years, patient has gained weight and not moving. Gain weight. No muscle mass because people have stopped moving. So a lot of complications will come. Okay, so see what is the best you could do. We all want to directly communicate with me. Get who's your leader. I think definitely there'll be some leader here. Get all of my number. And you can just contact me and I can give you some guidelines. As what I told you, this is what. Sometimes the important thing is the courage, encouragement. Sometimes you may feel a bit down, and all these things can be organized. All right? Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Ma'am, Poon asked a question for you, Doctor.
Yes,
a male is 70 years old. He has a persistent cough. And all of a sudden, keep sneezing also, Doctor. Cough and sneezing. What would you recommend? He has been taking GL capsules, cordyceps, and Rosel. Leonipine is not available here. I think she is in Australia, Doctor.
Yeah, Lignopine. Yeah, okay. Okay. First, always I encourage them to fix their diet. Okay, the question is persisting cough, all of a sudden, a male in 70s. He keeps sneezing also at the same time. What do you recommend? But he's taking GL capsules, cordyceps roselle, and lignopine is not there, so it's not on that. Okay, you see, one reason for them to cough is the lungs is getting strengthened up. Okay, cough is a good thing actually, but they will get very tired if the cough is very persisting. Okay, you see, there's two reasons you may cough. One, if there is any substance in that lungs and it may want to bring it out, the lung has to put in the pressure to blow it out. So that is cough. Okay, it will go like, oh. That is cough. Okay, the phlegm will come out. So another thing is when the lungs is very weak, they also will cough. So when they cough, the lungs will get stronger. Okay, this is why in yoga, we always ask them to practice this cough, like breathing, They will do a very deep breathe and then they will blow it up. Okay, it will sounds like, you're choking and, they will make the lungs expand and shrink and expand, shrink. So this is to strengthen the fibers in the lung. Okay, so it's good. So here, the few things we need to check, Dr. Puvan, see whether this patient has any bowel movement problem, okay, which is constipation. Okay, we also need to treat the bowel, the large intestine. So the large intestine and the lungs are very connected organ. Okay, but medically they don't look into this, but in the body language, either in Siddha or connection, the meridians, lungs, bearing organ is the large intestine. Most of the time when they have constipation, they have very poor bowel movement, or either they have a hemorrhoid, okay, or piles or hemorrhoid, they will have constant cough. Remember, okay, it is connected. Okay, this joint and our rectum is reflexing organs. Okay, they work. Okay, so this also will trigger the constant cough. So no point we treating the cough. Okay, but medically this is what we do. But in terms of the body, we need to treat the large intestine. Okay, so what you can do for the large intestine is you can give, first thing is you ask them this question, whether they have all this problem, and give them some enzyme-based drinks, VCO, and all these things. Okay, this all will help them. Okay, and then walking is very, very powerful for the lungs. Any cough related, ask them to do walk. Okay, and 70 years old is not very old, very young. Okay, for me, I always say all these things is young people will be wondering. So what is old to me is something like when you hit 100, then it's maybe old. Okay, 90, okay, that is old. Like 70, all, because I have friends in 70s, they're running, they do hiking, they do trekking, we go like 10 kilometers in the jungle, then they still fit, much better than the 20s in the city. Okay, they're very, okay. So when I move around with this kind of people, for me, when they come 70, I'm sick, that is too young. Okay, so all this, okay, summarize the whole thing. Okay, check on the constipation, check on the hemorrhoid. Okay, these two things. If there is, treat it. Fix that problem first. So what you need, enzyme base, VCO, virgin coconut oil, and also fix the lifestyle as well. Okay, walking would help to rebuild back the lungs function, and all this will be able to help. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, doctor. One more question about reversing diabetes. It is just asked on information, doctor, whether to decrease carbohydrate, stop sugar, and flour-based. I also shared a few things, doctor. If possible, you may highlight about how to reverse diabetes, doctor. Our diversity model is asking.
Okay, talk about, okay, I'm just reading what is written here. Okay, talk about diabetic reverse, how about it? We must be taking decreased carbohydrates, avoid sugar, right stuff, take exercise. Okay, you see here, there's three things I always emphasize. Okay, first is the food, second is movement, not exercise. Do not compare movement and exercise. We human beings don't need exercise. Okay, exercise is being invented to make money. Sports is business. But I never say that you cannot do exercise. You can do exercise. Okay, but why I called it as movement is exercise is different. Exercise, you must have a proper attire, a proper shoe to go and do exercise. So now they'll say, I'm going to do exercise. People will ask you, what are you going to do? What kind of exercise are you going to do? There are different, many varieties of exercise. Okay, you can play ping pong, you can run, you can be doing, powerlifting and blah, blah, so many things, exercise. Or you go to gym, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to combat, many things. All these, you don't need this all. This is all people who not understand. Why I tell you this is, this is a lot of people ask me, they look at me like, looking into an alien, what? They look like that. If you do exercise, you are a person who loves to do exercise, fine, you may go and do. But remember, you need extra care to yourself because of that exercise. So you are a runner, you love running, go and run. Nobody is going to stop you. But you need to feed your body more in a proper way compared to the one who don't run. The nutritional demand for the person who run is not same as the person who do not run. That is what you got to. You got to take care of the recovery of the damages happens in the running. 100%. We are a human, are not designed to run like a horse. You want to run 42 kilometers. You cannot run the next marathon the next day. But if you run a horse for 4,200 kilometers, the next second, the horse can run another 100 kilometers. That is what the horse is designed for. Okay? So you can do sports, but think about the recovery. Okay? So this is very important. Most of the sports, people die due to not having a proper recovery system, not measuring the risk factor of the sports. This is very important. So I call it as movement. We are a walking machine. If you walk 1 kilometer, the next second you can walk another 1 kilometer. The next moment you can walk another 5 kilometers. No problem. Okay, our ancestors been walking like no measurement. They don't measure. The 100 kilometers they walk, and we cannot say you only can walk 8 kilometers a day. Once you see your timing, 8 kilometers a day you walk, then you stop. Then after the next day only you walk another kilometer. So you stop where you are. No, it's not like that. You can walk as much as you want. So we are a walking machine. The basic requirement we need is 8.5 kilometers, which is 10,000 steps in a day. That's all. Okay. When it comes to the food, you say, we must decrease carbohydrate. Carbohydrates should come naturally from the food, not added. Now there's so many added carbohydrates, which is in sugar form, and sugar is not our food. It's not to be avoided. Because you said avoid the sugar, it should not be there at all. Now we are having way too much of sugar, and hidden sugars is quite a lot. In the bread, in the cookies, in the biscuits, and the cakes, in the pastries, in the little, people always have this another bad habit. They always like to put something in their mouth, a mint. And this is another very bad habit they have. Okay, some have bad breath and so on. So they like to play with this. And all the mint comes with sugar. So this is bad. It can be natural, it cannot be natural. I always against all this, even like chewing gum. It cannot be, munching something. And that says the body gives the signals as you are eating. And you are munching what? A gum. And that contains sugar. So you munch until it goes off. And there's a lot of chemical in the chewing gum. And same goes to all the mint and all these things. And now they also define is natural mint or not natural mint. We are not supposed to, once in a while you do this is fine, but don't go for all these things. All this is as sugar. Okay. Fried stuff you can minimize is the best. The oil that you're using for frying is really bad. So minimize. Don't always fry the fish, fry the chicken, fry the french fries, this and that. And that's going to cause a lot of damage to the arteries. Okay. Exercise, I told you, movement is the most efficient. If you're able to do this, this is our way of living as a human, normal. Okay. So gradually you bring it down. Okay. Then definitely you will not trapped in the diabetic pandemic. You will come out of diabetic. No problem. How critical your diabetic can be, how long you can be a diabetic, and we are talking about type 2 diabetic here. So you will come out of it. Okay. So you also must know and practice fasting and feasting. These two beautiful things here. You can enjoy food. I'm not saying that you cannot eat at all, but don't have party every day. 365 days, 300 days, have a beautiful life. Controlled, do it with full of love. You have another 65 days. If 65 days you eat also, okay, that is pretty too much. I think 30 days is good enough, including your birthday, your mom, father, grandfather's birthday, with Deepavali, with New Year, all this bam, all the other, Malaysia have a lot of festivals. I think we'll go maximum 30 days. Okay, still not enough, add another 10 days, 40 days. The rest of the days, do what you got to do. Walk 10,000 steps, go on low carb, no carb, good fat. Wow. You will transform. Okay, you will transform. You see, like Mr. Sam, and this is what he did. Before this, everything maxi wax. And he told me, doctor, when I told him first, don't take fruits, he freaked out. And he asked, doctor, I'm a person, I will not buy fruits in the normal shop. I'll go to the where they pluck the fruit. They will take my box, they will pluck it, put it inside and give it to me. And I'll come back and eat fresh. I say, Mr. Sam, you can even bring the knife, you sit on the tree, you pluck and you eat also is wrong. Or you don't pluck also, while the thing is, the stem is still hanging on the tree, you cut it like that and you taking it and eating. You see, I never cut the stem. The supply and, the fruit is still connected with the tree. The supply is still there. I'm super fresh, still wrong. Okay. You can eat very little. Okay. You can eat very little fruits. You must understand why we must not eat fruits. Okay. You see, God has not created fruit for human to consume in a large amount. Okay. God has created fruits in the jungle for all the living beings. It's been created before winter. Okay. The fruits have been produced before winter as a seasonal. Why? Winter, all the living beings cannot go out and hunt for food. So it's going to be very cold. So all the animals and human will eat the fruits and they will gain some weight in terms of fat. So in the winter time, and this applies a lot to the animals. Okay. So the animals will gain weight and they will use the fat to protect themselves during the winter. After winter goes on, they will use the fat as the food during winter. On the winter over, they also will gradually lose weight and they will not have access to food. And then after that, they start hunting and running. All the fat will be used up and they remain healthy. And after that, they're not going to get any more fruits until winter. Okay, that is seasonal. Then human being found these fruits are so tasty. They also found out that animals are eating, so we also can eat. So they brought it back. They cultivate this and made it into a business and also have a lot of data to claim that fruits are good. And this is how it's been commercialized, like how durian. There was only one durian in the jungle. Now we have hundreds different types of durian. Musang, this, that, udang, IOI, don't know what else. You see where I've been gone. So science is so great. Science has developed. Okay, that's why, I also read, the science what we are practicing now, the science doesn't make sense. Okay, and that is what we ended up with. But there is all good part of science. There's a lot of good part of the science. But there is also the dark side of the science. Okay, not to say science is not good. Science has, been helpful in providing facilities for for sick people in terms of transplant, a lot of things in even emergency. Okay, the drugs are very innovative and life-saving drugs. Yes, but there is also dark side. There is also good side. All right. Yeah. So all diabetic is 101% reversible, especially type 2. And type 1 is very, very challenging. And most of the time we may fail reversing type 1. But we can bring it into a very good control and we can reduce the risk of type diabetic. And also we can reduce the use of insulin way too, too much of insulin is not needed for a type 1. Okay, but healthy lifestyle can be cultivated there. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, Madam, Poovan, regarding this cough issues, old gentleman, she now come back with the query, Doctor. Doctor, I checked with his bowel movement. It is good. He is a non-smoker, non-constipated also, and he walks a lot. I mean, 3 kilometers a day. Still got this persistent cough after returning from the vacation. He also takes a Murgi and the spirulina. What else I can check with him, Doctor? That's it.
Okay. Okay. The thing is, he doesn't have constipation, and also quite a healthy lifestyle, or walks for 3 kilometers a day, and persisting cough is still there. Okay, and then what we can do is, on that part is clear, and then maybe need more time, on this, or treat him with a lot of spirulina, increase the dosage of spirulina like 30 capsules per day or tablets per day. You also can do a lot of take a lot of probiotics, in sense like our micro veggie, and that also helps. VCO helps a lot, and lion's mane is also very powerful. Increase the dosage of lion's mane at least like 12 per day, and ask him to gradually suck the lion's mane and do some breathing techniques. Okay, this is one. And another thing is, whenever he goes for a walk, ask him to breathe through nose. Okay, ask him to practice this. Breathing through nose is very, very powerful, and we have been like practicing breathing through mouth. Okay, this is very bad for everyone. And also some of my patients, I put a tape for them in the night. We tape up their mouth, and to forcefully they must breathe through nose. Okay, and 101% they will not die. Don't worry about it. Okay, every time people worry they may die, no, they will not die. Okay, and block the mouth. Okay, the reason is they create nitrate oxide through the nose. Okay, only nitrate oxide is one of the very powerful substance can the body produce. Is part of the immune system. Okay, it is located in a sinotrail and also in the passage of the throat. Okay, so this is very powerful. Okay, and this only will happen if you breathe through nose. No supplements can produce these, and all these things will not happen. Okay, so you also can do it in the daytime. If you're alone in the house, if many people in the house also is good. You put a tape. So less problem in the family. Nobody talks. Everybody, the day is calm day. So put a tape. Breathe through nose. Practice this. This also helps, and everybody can do this. Okay, when you do this for a couple of hours, you can see a lot of difference in you itself. Okay, try this all, Dr. Poovan. So anything, you have my number, you can always text me. Okay. Any more questions?
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, last one more. Something in Myanmar, Doctor. Manso. Dog mint scene.
Come on, teacher, I have had pain in my left wrist, thumb. for about 2 weeks. I add lemon juice, algae, chupa, black cumin. What is chupa? Black cumin gummy plus. Oh. Mm-hmm. Waste. Risk. This is the risk, right? 2 weeks. What lemon juice is this? Is this lemon Z? No lemon Z. There is a lemon juice. For yeah, this Google Translate is to eat lemon juice. Okay, no lemon juice. Okay, fine. All right. Okay. You see, sometimes the recoveries can be a bit slow for certain people. For some people, can be very fast. Okay. Okay, the question is had some pain on the left wrist, okay, for about two weeks something, and taking all the DXN products and still have pain, and what need to be done? You see, the question is I'm asking, we are not, the DXN products do not fix any of the medical condition that you have. Okay, that is very important. All right. So then another question you may ask, why then we need to take DXN products? If it doesn't fix this problem, and why I don't need it? Okay. Why I need this? Like myself, I take 80 spirulina a day. Then I take 3-RG, 3GL, black cumin, cordyceps, this, that's, and then potency and black cumin, androgy, and all these things I take. Because whatever you do, whoever you are, okay, what color you are, and what can be your profession, what can be your religion, we have one similarity. When we're hungry, we look for food. Remember, when you're hungry, we look for food. All right? So, you can be a doctor, you can be a saint, you can be a monk, you can be a mechanic, you can be a lawyer, engineer, whatever. But when you're hungry, what do you look for? The same food. Okay? Doesn't mean you're a lawyer, you're hungry, you eat your paper, the law paper. You're a mechanic, you eat the grease, you drink the, black oil, you eat. No, we don't do that. We look for the food. But at this point of time, that food, what we have in our hand, is extremely contaminated with coloring, pesticides and everything, and doesn't have nutrition. So we need to make sure what is on the plate and the nutrition what we are getting for our body, it is the best. And that is why we need to nourish our cells with. Okay. So, and also taste comes in. So outside, we take in a little, and DXN we take in as our main source of food. It helps us. Okay. So we have a better recovery. We have a better repairing system. Our immune system is always good, and we can always perform well in any form of our activity in our daily life. Okay, this is important. Now say, like, madam, you have a pain in your wrist and then you want to repair. Yes, continue doing what you're doing. You also may put all the gunner oils and all, and let the body to repair the problem. Only the body can repair the problem. You see, like last Wednesday, I went for a hiking. It's 10.5 kilometers. We did the whole hiking, okay, in a very steep hiking. Okay, 10.5 km. We came back 3 hours 30 minutes, 3 hours, 30 minutes, we are back. Okay. And also we did a couple of stops, very short stops. You see, on the way, a leech bite me. Okay. And my leg was a little swollen, but it recovers in 1 day. Okay. When I came back, I saw the thing, then I just didn't do anything. There is no treatment for this. I just consume what I'm doing. I'm just doing my activity. Only the second day, the night after, it was very itchy and my groins, the lymph nodes as enlarged. Okay. And I knew the body is taking care of, is attending to my problem. I knew that. Okay. So after the next day, everything goes off. Why? Because of the assurity of the nutrition which I'm providing for my body. And that's why the recovery is very fast. And the space of 10.5 km in 3 hours plus, uphill, downhill, and returning, so fast. That is also because the body is capable. Why the body is capable? Because the body is getting the right nutrition to perform the daily activities in an efficient way. You must understand this. Okay. Now, when people do all these things, they only do when they have problem. Sometimes when your problem comes, you want to do, you are very late, too late, like you will get a stroke. Stroke has come to wiped off everything. Now you want to fix it. It is 10 times more harder than the normal time. Okay. So like now you are doing everything good, just increase the dosage, especially the spirulina. Go for 30 to 50 per day. Okay. A lot of people are eating spirulina 2, 3, 1 like that. That is like putting salt in the water. Okay. You understand? So go for more, at least 10 times 2, 20 tablets per day. That will give you a good result. It is very important. Okay. All right. We will increase the spirulina to 30 to 40 per day. Okay.
Thank you, doctor. I think all queries
All
guided,
questions
doctor.
attended, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
doctor.
Yes. Uh-huh. Four to 5 months. Okay, you see, for a 4 to 5 month infant, actually there is no much need for a coconut oil. Okay. What normally we do is, for an infant like that, if they are drinking a formulated milk, okay, they will have very bloated stomach. Always they have this bloated stomach. What I recommend here is add spirulina and add GL into their milk. And that is more effective than the coconut milk, the coconut oil. So how we can use the coconut oil is to clean the tongue, to clean the mouth. Yes, we put a little bit in the cloth and then we just clean the mouth. So, or you can just put 1-2 drops into their tongue and that will get diluted immediately. Okay. Say the baby has constipation, then yes, you can give half a teaspoon. Okay, that can be done. If the baby has constipation, the next day the bowel will be clear. All right. But the spirulina and the GL and RG, these three, you must add into the milk. This will give extremely a powerful effect for the baby. In which area will clear the lungs. You see, formula milk will give a very ronky chest. Always you can hear the baby is very ronky. The lungs will be very noisy. Okay. Now every parents are bringing the babies to the clinic for a nebulizer and then cough mixture. That is no use. They do not understand the cough is coming from the formula milk because it's a toxin. Now, way too much formula already, the milks. Okay. And also parents are affordable, they go for very expensive formula milk, most expensive. Okay. And you think what the most expensive will give more problem to the baby. Okay. So then they bring back to the pediatric will give nebulizer, oxygen, put on, all kind of mumbo jumbo stuff will be done. And then they will do some suction and all this is unnecessary, stressing the baby too much. Just add RG, GL, spirulina. What will happen? Every month, the baby will vomit out phlegm. Boom, everything comes out. Then the chest gets clear up naturally by itself. Okay. Then the next you go on again. Just add how much you can add. How there is no limit. You can just add how many times also, or you want to just give it. You see, baby practically what 5 to 6 times they drink milk. Okay, some will be more, some will be less. So you just add about 2 times. If you're using capsules, each time 1 capsule is good. Or if you just want to go in 1 round, 3 capsules at 1 round is also fine. Nothing will happen to this baby. A lot of parents are so scared to give this. Even the senior DXN members are so scared to give RG. Something will happen. Nothing will happen. Okay, and you can see the baby's skin will be glowing. You can see the texture, the muscle build, solid will be there. You see, a baby who drinks formula milk and mother's milk, you can touch the skin and tell. That much difference. Okay? See, the baby who drinks mother's milk will be solid, hard, strong. The bones will be firm. You can see. All right. The baby who drinks formula milk will be very flabby and, loosen skin a bit. But with the moment you add this RG gel spirulina, you can get the same effect because in the spirulina, we have lilononic acid. Okay. This lilononic acid is what we get from the mother. Okay, GLA. Okay, so this is very powerful. And that becomes in the spirulina. Put a lot of spirulina and give. Okay, you can go and verify this data. I don't know where you can go to verify. If you'll trust me, I've been doing that for more than 9 years, right? So many people who comes and visit me, I put them into this. So I believe you'll do so. All right. So there are a lot of, I would say, thousands of DXN members are doing this globally. Okay. And you see from that moment, you will forget clinic and hospitals. You maybe may bring them for other reasons, for vaccines or things like that, and not for cough and not for flu and fevers and all. No, that will not happen at all. All right. So I've covered all the questions and time's up. We got to end. So our co-host, our translator, Miss Cho, she's in Malaysia. We're having the first Crown Ambassador Summit. So they're very busy with shooting and, a lot of things. And and day after tomorrow, we're having our grand recognition rally. So, it is something like, having a big festival like Deepavali is coming like that, the feeling. We have to buy costumes and getting prepared. And today we view the place. Wow. 2,500 participants is coming. Ooh, just can't wait. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm also receiving my pin. All right, the gratitude and the thanks all goes to every one of us and one of you in the team here. Okay, even from my team or not from my team doesn't matter. As long you are in the family and your contribution is always there, and it's been very highly appreciated. All right. So always in DXN, don't look at this. No, you are not my line. You are not my downline. No, no, you don't look like that. We are as a human and a human, and we are in one industry. And okay, and furthermore, we one industry. First, we are a human. Second, we are in one industry. Third, we are in one company. Okay, so there's nothing wrong holding hands to work together. Okay, that's my principle and that's my motive is. Okay, let's make this world as a better place for us and for our children and all our being, and we got to be the best example for everyone. Okay, so thank you so much for all the participants today, and really salute all the questions, beautiful questions, excellent. Without you, this program will not be so successful and not be so motivated and driven with so much of knowledge. Okay, so at the same time, I'd like to thank all the co-hosts who helped me for today, which is Mr. Sam, and then Madam Parimalam for Tamil translation, and also our Crown Ambassador, Miss Cho from Myanmar, and she's in Malaysia now. Wow, power pack. Okay, bye-bye, and we'll see you all next Friday.
Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Bye.